Okay, hi, it's Rob from the Bobsphere. It's been a long time, but I did say that. It's time for another Booker video, and now I've got 11 of the Booker novels. So there's going to be a steady stream of them now. Right, we're going to do James, but before, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, and I think it's crucial to know about this in order to go into James. I'm sorry, I'll be straight. It's better if you do read this first. Okay, now let's get into it. Right, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is a satire. The book was published in 1884, and the events of this book actually happened 10 years before that. There were a lot of cultural changes in the South then. I think namely the war. So in a way, Twain is mocking past attitudes towards slavery, which means the book is an anti-slavery one, despite what people say. It's actually one of the most banned books in libraries because of its portrayal of racism. But it's a satire and it's anti-racism. I mean, Twain knew it was wrong to make fun of Afro-Americans, so he's really, putting you up in the eye. So what's poking you in the eye? So what's the book about? Okay, Huck Finn is a sequel from Tom Sawyer. Huck Finn is now adopted. He has his guardians, and they have a slave called Jim. Huckleberry does not like this, yet he holds on because Tom Sawyer says that he's going to have a band of thieves, and it's better if Huck stays in the family. Then Huck's drunk father comes. He wants some of the money for Huck. Doesn't get it. He kidnaps him. Huck fakes his own death and then runs away. As he's running away, he meets Jim, who's also running away because he heard that he is going to be sold. And together, both of them have adventures. Now, the thing about the book is the language. It's in Southern dialects. Huck has a dialect. Jim has a dialect. That's important. At the start of the book, Huck has a very, I would say even a terrible attitude towards Jim. He sees him as a fool. But as they have more adventures and they save each other, they become closer. And Huck starts realizing that Jim is actually a person, not just a slave. And this is why, you see, it's another reason why the book is banned. There is a lot of use of the N-word here, a lot. But that's because it's to represent the times they were living in. And also, by the end of the book, Huck is afraid to use it. He kind of, he starts being hesitant on using the N-word. So again, that gives you clues. So that's The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Now, James, by Percival Everett, has all the events in Huck Finn, but it's not told through Huck Finn's point of view, it's told through James' point of view. So here we have a white perspective, and here we have an Afro-American perspective. That's different. And through that perspective, we get a picture of how Afro-Americans suffered during the slavery times. Beatings, injustice, rudeness. Again, they were seen as fools. And Huck sees them like that too, until the very end when he realizes. So there's that. But the strength of James is, the crux is about the use of language. Like in Huckleberry Finn, Jim, he's called Jim for a second, but there's a reason why. Jim speaks that kind of dialect, but then we find out, and it's not really a spoiler because it's in the second chapter, that actually Jim can speak normally, like a white person. But the reason why they have the dialect is to show that they are submissive to white people. Throughout the book, and this is a tiny bit of a spoiler, James encounters one white person and he starts speaking like a white person. And this white person's shocked completely. And through that, James becomes powerful. And he actually gets power over this white person. So the power here is not in your guns, because he has a gun as well, but the guy doesn't care. The white guy doesn't care about that. It's not about guns. It's not about using your fists. It's language. And that's how you can overpower someone. Also, James knows how to write. Sorry. He knows how to write and he knows how to read. Again, which shows he's powerful. He's not only just a slave. He has the power to be educated. And this is what white people cannot tolerate. But he wins over. And he's called, the white people call him Jim, but he's really James. And the final sentence of that book is where he emphasizes on it. That's his name. I'm sorry, there's drilling going on. Okay, that was a bit hard, One reason why there's a lot of gaps when I do a video is because I don't like saying So I take a gap and I'm trying to think things over. I don't use a script, as you can tell. Right. I love this book. I think it's very good. It's not as funny as the 4 other Percival Everetts I've read. But in here, the message is very blatant. It hits you hard. This is a meta book. It's a powerful book. Very powerful. It shows the cruelty of us white people. And I won't say it's his best one because I have to read more. But I would say it's top tier Percival Everett. Yeah. So yeah, this gets a 10. It's no doubt about that. Have you read it? What do you think? You can tell me. It's probably the longest video I ever did. Usually I try to keep it under 5 minutes. Anyway, the next one I'm reading, I'm not enjoying that much, but we'll get to that. Bye.